Hello comrades and peers. Here we start with the third series and we don't start with an intro or part 1. Three Armies is about transfer of mechanics into game rules and how different systems approach this. This sounds a bit academic, but it's about easy solutions for complex things and what that means for us players. Today we look at line versus columns in Napoleonic miniature war games. The tactical discussion escalated after the 7 Years' War. Shortly, the classic three-rank line was mostly seen as the best approach for firepower and endurance, whereas other tacticians supported the easier-to-maneuver attack columns to achieve a hammer effect on the target and break it. Critics countered with a vulnerability to artillery fire, and so the discussion went on. In revolutionary France, the despotic line system, with its Prussian drill, fell in discredit. Skirmishing and attack columns seemed more democratic in their approach. Napoleon himself preferred the order mixed. This is mostly a line formation between two attack columns, with the skirmish screen covered by cavalry. For a lot of people, Waterloo put a stop to the ideas of columns. British line showed its dominance. Did it? If we play Napoleonic war games today, we know which formation is better, because the rules tells it. But if you change the rule system, you may find a nasty surprise. The question is, where stands the author in the discussion between column and line? Some systems avoid this discussion altogether and take a look from a higher level of aggregation. So we take a look at three different approaches to formations: Black Powder, Shadow of the Eagles, and Battaglia Imperial. In most game rules, the column formation has a higher movement rate. Black Powder does this in an indirect way. Column get a +1 command modifier, and so a better chance for a second or third move. Columns also get a +1 moral save, except against artillery, what makes them quite tough. As drawback, they have only 2 shooting dice, and lost in the rules update the possibility to charge a line with 2 columns. Mr. Priestley obviously agreed with some positive arguments regarding columns. Albion Triumphant changed things a bit. Reliable for French columns made them even more controllable, but the rules in French column versus British line shifted favor back to units in line. In Shadow of the Eagles, columns are mostly a way to bring units into position. You expand your mobility by 1/2, but have to pay your price. Only 1 die for shooting against 4 for units in line, and 2 dice in hand-to-hand combat versus 4 in line. Columns lose a punch here, and artillery gets a bonus to hit them. In this game you will seldom see columns in the front line. Here linear combat reigns. After the more British approach, we take a view at Battaglia Imperial. As in Shadow of Eagles, columns move 1/2 faster than units in line. Additionally, they get a bonus on the maneuver tests. In shooting, the line formation gets a bonus which columns don't get, and artillery gets a bonus for targeting columns. In hand-to-hand combat, the columns get a higher attack bonus and better defense against cavalry. Line formation get a higher defense bonus against infantry to simulate their volley against the charger. The column formation becomes an alternative to line formations. But to keep the armies more historical, tactical doctrines limits the use of formations. In linear order, units can only approach the enemy in column formation, but must change into line in tactical distance. Deep order only attacks and moves in column formation, and mixed order can use formations of line and column at will. 3 rulebooks, 3 different views on column versus line. In Shadow of Eagles, columns are there to move faster. Black powder columns are harder and faster, ideal for assaults at first. The scenario books more favors the line over column, but gives the French a reason to use them either. In Battalion Imperial, they have their own role in assault, movement and cavalry deterrence, a solid alternative formation. What's your opinion? Are line formations the standard in Napoleonic miniature games, or is there a place for attack columns too? Let me know in the comments. Hope I could trigger some new ideas for your next game. By the way, Storm of Steel holds an 8,000 subscriber giveaway at the moment. If you haven't, I would recommend you check it out. Link down below. Till then.